Welcome back to the Rewind Rewatch podcast. My name is Joel.
And I'm Andrene.
And once again, we have our brother Dave here for another all-out sibling episode.
What's up?
We're here.
I'm moving on back behind.
What is going on with you?
I'm great, man. Glad to be here. Glad to have y'all in town. Family vacation, California, 2024.
That's right. We are in California. We're on family vacation, so it made sense to bring Dave back. As always, this is a podcast with two siblings, this time three, rewatching 90s movies. We review them. We talk about what aged well, what didn't age well, how much we enjoyed or did not enjoy the film, and at the end, we give it a rating of 1 to 5 rewinds based on how likely we are to rewatch the movie again. And for today's episode, usually I think we gave a little peek behind the curtain a couple episodes back, how we kind of alternate picking movies off of the list. Andrene will pick one and I'll pick one. Since Dave decided to join us for this episode, we were like, you know what, let's have him pick something off this list.
Yeah.
And your pick for this week was The Blair Witch Project from 1999. So before we get into the movie, what was the reason why we have a very long list, as you saw? How'd you decide to choose this movie of all the films on the list?
So, Andrene sent me the whole list. I narrowed it down to...
Don't say the names.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to. That's perfect. I narrowed it down to 3 movies. And I wanted to watch some sort of like psychological thriller of some nature.
Okay.
And the other one was in that same vein, but it was a little too much of a slasher. I saw this.
If we're thinking about the Blair Witch Project, what did you? Because you never seen it before.
Never, no.
So what did you know about it, or what about
I
it?
knew nothing about it. I saw the trailer, and that's really what caught me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like the title. I heard of it before, but then when I saw the trailer, it sold me on it.
Okay, cool. Before we get into your one sentence summary, this was requested by Straight Edge Dad on IG
Shout out to him
and Nick.
Not as cool of a name, but it's fun too. Shout out to Nick.
Love a good Nick.
And Straight Edge Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a 1 hour and 18 minutes, so a nice sweet spot. Not too long, not too short. Just enough of a runtime there. All right, Dave. So I'm actually glad you're here because typically Joel and I go back and forth, and I'm terrible at
She's not good.
I might butcher it, but
at
we
trying to
gonna-
summarize.
Let's
But in
see
one
what happens.
sentence, how would you sum up Blair Witch Project?
One sentence, I would say 3 high school students from a small town in Maryland go into a small town to do a documentary on this witch.
Okay, you're
that they heard.
just as good as Andrene at this. Great.
It was a sentence.
That was good.
That was a sentence.
Yeah, it was a sentence.
I didn't want to write it you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Off the top.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah, you had this.
Did that pass the bar?
Yeah, you have this trio, and they're investigating the legend of the Blair Witch.
That's all right. Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like, I guess we can talk about who's in it, but I mean, these are 3 no names as far as I'm concerned.
That's not very nice.
No, I mean, it's not a matter of being nice. It's just that like they haven't
They're
really
nobody.
been in anything else. Like you have the 3 characters, and what's different about this movie is like, you know, we're watching this quote unquote documentary, right? So like they're not actors per se as far as how they're portraying it to us. So you have Heather Donahue, who's the only female character here. And then you have Michael Williams, who they call Little Mikey at times.
Mikey.
And then you have Joshua Leonard, who they call Josh. And these are the 3 characters. So I feel like before we even get into what happens in the film, I kind of want to just talk about like the background of the Blair Witch legend. So basically the story goes that this is supposed to take place in this city in Maryland. And the city is called
Burkittsville. It's like a small town.
Yeah.
It's not even, I don't think it's even a city.
Yeah. So like this is like a very rural, like woodsy area. This is not like your DMV near DC type of area. And the story goes back to, gosh, what year was it? I believe it started in 1785. And so at the time, the name of the city was called Blair, Maryland. And there was a group of children that accused this woman of taking them into her home and drawing blood from them. So this is the whole legend, that she's a witch and she has these kids. The town becomes enraged because how dare she, use witchcraft on their children. They find her guilty and they banish her outside the village. And she basically ends up dying of exposure due to living in a harsh winter. So while she's out there, the very next year, all the kids that accused her, as well as some other villagers, end up vanishing, and no one knows what happened to them. Decades later, a new town kind of settles on the same site, and then some more strange occurrences start happening, like kids start disappearing, and they think there's like a murder of a search party that happens. And then if you fast forward even later on past that, in 1940, there's a hermit named Rustin who ends up turning himself into authorities, and he confesses to the murder of 7 children. And he basically claims that this ghost woman made him do it, which we're led to believe is this Blair Witch. And the only survivor was this one boy named Kyle. And in the story, it's told that Kyle was made to stand in the corner, like with his back, while this other character killed all the kids. So it's kind of a convoluted story, but basically there's this witch who lives in the area, and she can make people do other things. And the things that she makes people do is basically kill children or kill other people in the area. So it's haunted, per se. And these 3 kids are like, oh, well, let's go out there and do this great documentary. Like, why not? This will be lit. My first question is, what do you guys think about doing a documentary about a witch?
Never. I would never do that. Yeah, sounds ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Right.
You don't want to investigate?
Nah, I mean, doing a documentary about something that I feel like, it's like I'm trying to uncover the past of this thing that happened is fine if it's like historical documentary.
Okay.
But once you're talking about the supernatural, particularly if I have to like go out into the middle of the woods to explore it, then that's I think a bridge too far for me. Where it's like, yes, this might all be like made up, but then what if it's not? Then you're just like dredging up the past, and you're disturbing the spirits, and you're like you're kind of inviting whatever's gonna happen to you. So to me, it's like that's not really a good idea. I feel like there was I want to say it was like a Black Mirror episode or something where somebody does something similar to this, where like they're trying to shoot a documentary about some like ghost, and then of course it like ends up haunting them or something. And they start seeing like weird things in the footage, and it's just like, bro, why did you do this? It's like you could have just left it alone.
You got to get the story, right?
So I know Dave mentioned that he never saw this movie before. This movie is also, I never saw this movie either. And I remember when this came out, because I'm like in middle school. And so like this movie to me reminds me of like late 90s, like MTV era, like monoculture, like all the stuff that teens were kind of paying attention to. This was kind of a part of that same subculture. Yeah. And I remember it being like this big phenomenon at the time. And there was a lot of people were saying like how scary it is, and like, yo, this movie's not like anything else because it's literally just camcorder footage. Like it's literally just documentary footage, so it feels realer. And they actually kind of talk about that in the film, which is a little meta, where they're saying like you can kind of like pretend like something's different because it's behind a camera or whatever.
Right.
But there was a lot of like discussion, I remember at the time, even having never seen the movie, I remember there being a lot of discussion about like, was it staged? Is it not? Is it a real movie? Is it actually a documentary? Is it just something that's produced? And so like watching this movie now, all these years later for the first time, I was kind of like thinking back to like, okay, if I was 14 years old watching this movie, like what would that have felt like? What would that have? And I don't really feel like anything else like this has really ever, I can't think of another, and then maybe this is just a one-off thing, like you really probably can't do it again, but I don't remember any other movie really trying to do something like this where like, it doesn't feel like a production. It just feels like you're like getting a peek behind a curtain.
Well, this is kind of one of the big ones that started the found footage era. There are other movies that have done
I'm
something
thinking
similar.
like what, Paranormal Activity?
Paranormal Activity, yeah.
yeah.
Found footage, correct. There's also been things
But Paranormal Activity still feels like a movie.
You mean like
It doesn't feel like you
I
just
see what you're
found
saying.
somebody's camcorder and now I'm watching it.
Yeah.
word? That makes sense. Yeah.
Because even to your point, like these people aren't even like real actors. So it's not like, oh, Nev Campbell's in this, and then I'm gonna figure out that this is. It's like, yo, I've never seen these people before, and so I think
So
that's
you're
what
assuming,
that made the
yeah,
movie
yeah.
scarier because people were like,
I thought it was real, like the whole time.
yeah, see, that's
So-
what I'm saying.
so-
I asked. Go ahead.
Yeah, after he watched it, like he
Yeah.
said to me, like, yo, this is crazy. Like, do we know what happened to them? And I was like, wait, what? But like, I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, we'll talk about it on the podcast. Because I was like, Dave thought it was like a real thing we were watching.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that was the whole thing. But like, yeah, they basically, this is how they marketed it. So much so that like people who went to the movie theaters like thought like, oh, I'm watching an actual found footage. And a lot of people didn't know that it wasn't a real thing. To the point where, so Heather, her mom was receiving sympathy cards from people like who thought that her daughter had died. The girl Heather in the movie, yeah, her mom was receiving cards from people because they thought her daughter had died, and it was like, oh snap, this is what happened. Because it was to the point where the directors even made it a point not to correct websites that claimed that the actors were deceased. Like they were going above and beyond to be like, oh yeah, this actually happened.
I mean, you talk about marketing, like I said, like this was definitely a big movie, which you could tell by watching it. Like production costs were probably nothing.
Exactly.
So they spent a lot of money on like marketing it, and I remember it being like a big deal. Like, yo, this is the craziest movie ever, and like, yo, this movie's gonna scare you so much. It's so real, and da da da. So it was definitely like a thing that people were paying a lot of attention to and talking about, like whether or not it was real.
Yeah.
And you also have to think this is like before social media, internet is around, but it's certainly not at the level that it is now. There's no smartphones.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like people just talking about it and trying to figure out like what makes the most sense. But it wasn't something that you could just like look up. It's not like you could just go to Wikipedia and like
Right. And even like when
9%.
Joel mentions cost, even when you think about the time it took to shoot this, it only took 8 days of filming.
That's amazing.
So like the 8 days that we're seeing in the movie, like
Word.
those were the 8 days that they filmed it.
That's fire.
So this was another thing that I was having a hard time following is like throughout the movie, obviously like they are searching for this story. They end up getting lost in the woods.
Yeah.
And they end up staying in the woods way longer than they need to or want to. And there's a whole bunch of things that happen that contributes to them staying in the woods even longer. I was having a hard time like tracking, and maybe because I didn't realize they were going to be there the whole movie. But like, I wasn't paying attention to how many times they went to sleep.
Oh, I did.
So as it went along, I'm like, yo, is this day 5? Is this day, like, what's
Same.
going, like, how long have they been? When's the last time they ate?
Yeah.
So then
Yes.
And they
The
left the
food-
food in the car, right? Oh, because I
The
didn't see
food is what
now.
definitely got to me because I was like, you could see them drinking out of like canteens every
Yeah.
now and then, but they haven't eaten anything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
my calculation, it was 8 days. And actually, so I guess it was night number 8 was when the movie concludes. Because I actually did write down day 1, day 2, sleep, 6. I wrote it down. So it's really 8 days. So they literally shot it in 8 days, and the movie takes place in 8 days. And what's fantastic about this, there's so many things behind the scenes that just were blowing my mind about this. First of all, there really was no script for this movie. The scripts consisted of a 35-page outline. Basically,
Yeah,
it just planned for dialogue to be improvised by the actors in order to make the story seem real.
For sure. Yeah.
So it's like, this is the situation, and go.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was. So,
And you kind of have to do it that way because if they
Yeah.
have script, then people are going to know it's fake. Like, it has to feel like real interactions.
Yeah.
exactly. They even had to sign a release to allow the directors to mess with their head during filming.
What does that mean?
So, for instance, like when they're sleeping in the tent overnight and they would like hear like noises, Like they didn't know that was gonna happen.
Oh.
Like they're just told they're told we're doing a movie that's supposed to be a quote unquote real documentary, but what you're gonna be investigating is the legend of the Blair Witch. The actors believe the legend is real.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that changes everything.
Yeah. So they think like
that changes the whole thing. Right.
So they think like, okay, we're gonna do this fake documentary, but it's about this real witch. And we'll see what happens. And so they would go around and like shake the tent and they would make noises. And like at one point you hear like a baby crying. It was one of the producer's children. He recorded them crying and they started playing it in the woods. And so they're like, what is that? So it's like, so they know like something's supposed to happen, but they don't know what exactly is going to happen.
That's crazy.
So the actors, a lot of the reactions, that's just my water. A lot of the reactions were just actual real reactions. Like they didn't know.
Okay.
Which is
that's wild.
Insane.
It's wild, but it makes sense to your point. Because you can feel it.
At the beginning of the movie, before they go to the woods, they do some like interviews with some people around town. Mm-hmm. Is that all staged? Or are those like real interviews?
So the actors believed they were talking to actual townspeople, but they were in fact actors.
Oh.
Wow. It's a very immersive.
So it's a whole like ruse, but they're not really even in on it themselves.
Exactly.
So they're being tricked along with the audience.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It's diabolical in a good way. And then like I believe someone brought up food. It might have been Dave or Joelle about how we don't really see them eating.
Yeah.
I read in a couple of articles that with each day, between like day 1, day 2, day 3, they would give the actors less and less amounts of food in order to heighten the tension between the actors.
That's crazy too.
Isn't that wild?
I love it. Yeah.
It's like an experiment that they're conducting.
Dope. That's dope.
While filming.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this while we're talking about these actors, because we have Heather and Mike and Josh.
Yep.
What did you think of these 3 people as you're watching the movie? Like,
I thought Heather was bonkers. And the reason being, she was just so adamant about this. Like, it reminds me a lot about Andrene, about the whole. Cause I can see you.
Wait a minute.
I can see you doing
it. I'm nodding along until you said Andrene.
I could see you doing that.
What?
And then I asked.
Heather's bonkers. She reminds me of Andrene.
Would you
Direct
do this?
quote.
So you were like, yeah, I would go and do a documentary on things like that. But anyway, nonetheless, characters. I think she was bonkers. I feel like I related to Mikey the most until we'll get to that. The whole thing with the map situation. Because I feel like he was going along because he was with his friends and he was still, he wasn't as adamant about the whole witch thing, but I feel like he was going along with it. And then Josh, I feel like he was just there, but he was more so the person that was holding everything together at a certain point in time. And then over time, he's the one that ended up losing it first, which I thought was very interesting.
Oh, yeah, he starts crying at one point.
Yeah, because I thought he was going to be the last one, because he seemed very nonchalant the whole time, like, it's going to be all right.
He was making jokes, kind of. Yeah.
And then the flip. But Heather was bonkers.
It's funny that you say that, because I feel like as I was watching the movie and taking notes, at a certain point, I think I just wrote down Heather's kind of annoying. Because, it was like, on the one hand, I understand, like, hey, this is my project and you guys are helping me, but like, I'm the one that's actually trying to get this finished.
Right.
So I totally get that, and I can understand when like other people are trying to quit and you're like, yo, I actually want to finish this. But I feel like she wasn't like empathizing very well. And she was just like pushing and not really like, she kind of had blinders on, but it's like, bro, we're stuck in the woods. And also like, you're asking us to do you this favor, but this is actually becoming very inconvenient. She wasn't really empathizing with them or like looking at the big picture of like what's going on here. It was just like, yo, we just have to get this documentary finished. And it's like, bro, like you actually don't.
Right.
Like this is actually not that. It's not like you're a college senior and this is your capstone project and like you have to get it finished. Like you're just being ambitious. Yeah. Which is fine, but it's also like, bro, you're actually kind of being annoying. And I feel like there's a fine line between ambition and just being a jerk.
So let me ask you this. Talking about Heather and her being annoying and pushing regarding this documentary. If you're Heather, at what point did you think she was either doing too much or should have turned around? Like, was there a report where you were just like, oh, this is red flag?
I mean, to me, I couldn't tell if she ever was lost because they kept saying, you lost. No, I promise, just keep going south, keep going south.
Let's go. Let's go. If we keep going south, we will get out.
And I was like, yo, is she just talking right now or is she really lost? So I feel like a long time ago, I would have at least been like, yo, honestly, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah. If this is my thing, again, as she's spearheading, as she's the one that said, let's go and do this documentary in the first place, I just would have been more conclusive as far as telling them what's really happening. And I get from her standpoint, she's like, I don't want to get them scared.
Yeah.
And then everybody starts freaking out because I really don't know what's going on, but let me just be the one to calm everybody down in my assurance. So I feel like she could have been turned around.
Is that like a real thing though? Like, cause that's other thing. Like when people are like clearly lost, but they just don't want to say they're lost. Like, does that really ever help anybody to be like, oh no, I know where we are, but it's like, but you don't. So like, how I don't know. I never understood that logic. I'd be the first person to be like, I don't know where I'm at, and I'm gonna ask for directions. Like, I feel like it have
depends.
that little
whatever
prideful thing in me that makes me. But it's just like I don't understand when other people do it, and I've never really understood like how does this help the situation? Because like you're trying to help people make sure that they don't panic, I guess. But it's also like, but you are actually lost. For sure. Like you actually don't know. You can't help us.
And I feel like it depends because I feel like it was coming from a place of pride, but also trying to keep everybody level-headed. So I feel like it depends on who you're with. In this situation, I feel like she could have told him. That was my thing.
I feel like for me, one of the jarring red flags was day 3 when she talks about, oh yeah, we're going to take a shortcut off the trail. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, it's like,
but bro, you don't know where we are.
As someone who
you don't know where we are.
Like I'm not a hiker. Like I'm not an overnight hiker where I'm like hiking the Appalachian Trail and for 4 or 5 days. But I do a number of day hikes. And one thing I know is I'm staying on the trail. Like once you start deviating off the path and going, like woods are very large, very easy to get lost. And she kept saying this stupid thing like, we're in America. We can't possibly get lost in the woods.
She was playing that America card.
I was like, wait, what?
This is America. We can't get lost.
We have to
I know.
rationally say they might very well go on forever compared to our footsteps.
Not possible. Not possible in this country.
Why is it
not
not
possible.
possible?
Because this is America and it's not possible. We've destroyed most of our natural resources. Let's just keep going.
America, God send your grace on thee.
I was like,
I didn't even understand what that meant. I don't know.
I was like, has she not listened to podcasts about people getting lost in national
they didn't have
park?
podcasts. It was
Okay,
1994.
no. But still, stories, news stories, people going missing.
Yeah.
Like people get lost all the time.
But also, like, what does America have to do with getting lost?
Yeah,
like, it's not like they were in the middle of New York City.
She said
you're in the woods. You're in the woods in like nowhere, Maryland.
Right.
She said we exhausted all of our natural resources. That's what she said.
Make any sense
That's what
at all.
she said.
And that's also not true.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was bad, though.
Most of America is still pretty like barren and like not barren, but it's a lot of like open land. It's not all industrialized. Like that's really just the major cities. So also on top of you not helping, you're also an idiot and you also don't know anything about this country that you continue to profess.
Yeah.
That was really annoying. That probably made me even more annoyed by her when she kept saying like,
America?
"Oh, we can't be lost. This is America." Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what does this even mean?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand what that had to do with anything. Well, I think so. As far as being lost, like she was able to get them to, what was it, Coffin Rock? Where she was telling the story about the 2 men that were hung and their intestines were torn out. And then later on the bodies went missing.
Yeah. So what were they trying to find there? I guess that was the other thing too, because it's like they start the movie talking to these people, and they're like talking to people in town. Oh, what do you know about the legend of the Blair Witch and this, that, and the third? And then it's like, all right, so now we're gonna go in the woods and try to find what? Like, what exactly were they looking for?
I don't believe they were wanting to find anything. It's just a matter of like, this is where it happened.
Like,
this
see what
is,
they could find.
Yeah, this is just like, you know, you're just going to the location. Like they went to the cemetery and like you just film there, you tell the story, and then I mean, I believe the trip was only supposed to be maybe 3 or 4 days tops, and then come back, circle back. But a lot of the stories they were getting from people, like that one old lady, Mary, who was claiming that like she saw the Blair Witch when she was fishing with her dad, and it was basically a woman with horse fur on her arms and her hands, and like her whole body basically was covered with like horse hair.
Crazy Mary Brown.
And they're just like, oh, like she's nuts. So who cares what she's saying?
It was like a woman, only on her arm, on her hands and everything. It was like hair, like a real dark, almost black hair, like a horse.
Like fur?
Yeah, like a fur, like horse fur.
But it's like, bro, how many people did you guys interview?
3. Like it wasn't a lot.
It wasn't a lot of people, but they all were like, stupid kids, dumb kids. You'll never learn. Like, why are you going out there? And it's like, even if it's not, even at one point they start hearing things, and it might have been Mikey who said this, like, we're not sure if it's the Blair Witch making the noises, but even if it's not her, it could be someone else out here who's like trying to scare us. And that could be even worse.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of random people living in the middle of the woods who are out here trying to terrify you. Like, that's not safe either.
Yeah, it could be a dead witch, or it could be someone who's alive and also going to kill us. So
In the woods, right?
Like, what difference does it make? You're still gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about this map.
Oh my
Bruh.
God,
Dave,
Nah.
you mentioned that briefly earlier. You wanna
That was wow.
talk about that? So what happened?
So this is day 4, right? They wake up and they see 3 piles of rocks outside their tent. Now everybody's tripping. Like, how did they get there? Because this wasn't here before we went to sleep. I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
Mikey and Josh is ready to go, and she's still adamant because she's still filming everything. They're like, yo, let's leave, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
She's looking for the map. She can't find the map. That's when I start tripping. I'm like, did somebody steal it? Did she misplace it? Is somebody playing a joke with her? And then Mikey goes and says he kicked the map into the river. She was like, this is useless. We don't know where we are anyway. We're all lost.
We were laughing at the situation.
Fine.
We're fucking hungry. We're fucking tired. What the hell else are we supposed to do
what?
at this point?
I kicked the. I'm sorry, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but I kicked that fucking map into the creek yesterday. It was useless. I kicked that fucker into the creek.
I fucking hope he's kidding.
I was blown. And my thing, I tripped because Mikey was the main one that was tripping the whole time. So it's like, yes, I get you're frustrated, but why would you kick the map into the river? That didn't make any sense to me. How did y'all feel about that?
Personally,
Like, specifically about Mikey kicking the map into the river.
so I feel like my knee-jerk reaction was, this is crazy, why would he do it? And granted, I still believe he shouldn't have done it, but I don't know if that would have made a difference. Because if you think about it, they were already lost with the map and a compass. They had been walking south. They're following the compass. They're following the map.
Word.
Like, my theory is that the woods were haunted, and so regardless of what they did, they were still going to be walking in circles. So
Okay.
I think they were doomed regardless.
because the woods were haunted.
Yeah.
For sure.
I
I
mean-
still wouldn't have kicked the map in
I mean,
the river.
yeah.
That's
I mean, I
wild.
still wouldn't have done it, but I don't
right.
think it would have changed anything.
For sure. I feel you.
Yeah. I think for me it's just like Dave said, like it actually doesn't make any sense because okay, you're frustrated because you're still lost. So your reaction to being frustrated is to
Right.
get rid of the one thing that could potentially help you. So now you have nothing to help you. So it's like, oh, the map wasn't helping us. This is what he said. That map was useless. Okay. so now what are you going to use?
They still have the
It's
compass.
Right.
But they already had the compass too. So that's
They
the thing.
did.
It's like, so now what? So what is the plan B?
But I feel like in
Because
hiking,
you've eliminated plan A.
Yeah,
You've kicked
that was
plan A
dumb.
into the river. So what is now the choice?
I feel like in hiking they always tell you to follow the river, like follow a river downstream is like kind of what you're told to do if you get lost. So that's what I thought they were gonna do, but like nobody even mentioned following the river, and I was like,
Yeah, I was a little confused by that too because they passed by the same creek. Like they were like, "Oh, we've been walking around all day," and then they passed by the same creek, and it was like, "Yo, we've been around. We were here like 14 hours ago, and we just walked all the way, and we came back."
yeah,
So it's like, yeah. So why didn't y'all just like follow the actual body of water?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Because it's never gonna circle around.
exactly.
It's a body of water. So yeah, I don't know.
But then I was thinking, like, on a completely lighter note, just watching Heather walking around with this compass, I thought about Tommy Pickles from Rugrats. How, like, we talked about...
Responsibility?
Yeah, we talked about, last week's episode that he had this little compass and he was walking. And, like, when I tell you, Tommy was confident leading his little Rugrat friends through the woods. And in my head, I kept saying, like, man, if Tommy was here, maybe they would get out of this mess.
Yeah. That's true. If Tommy
Pickles was here.
If only they had a 1-year-old to lead the way, the whole movie would have played out differently.
It's possible.
A cartoon 1-year-old
It's possible.
would have saved the day. So you talk about parts that like kind of gave you like the oh hell nah moment. Yeah. Like when they find all that voodoo insignia hanging in the woods.
Yeah.
And then she kept filming. You remember that?
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, there's more." She was like,
Yo, let's go.
No, bro, don't. I'm not walking closer to it. Like
She started touching it,
Yeah,
making it
like,
spin,
why
like
am I
putting your hands
touching
on
it?
it. Yeah.
I'm not
she
putting
was bugging.
Yeah, that's too much.
That one was awful, man.
That was the funny part because someone said like it could be like a redneck put it up, and then I think it was probably Josh. He was like, "Nah, this is no redneck. No redneck is this creative."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was fun.
So I'm like, at this point, now I hate Mike and I hate Heather because I've already hated Heather from like the first 30 minutes. So I was over her. And then when he kicked this map in the river, I'm like, all right, so Mike's also an idiot. And now they're just screaming at each other constantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even while this is going on, like Josh is just being a complete meatball. Like at one point, he like lays down in the woods. He's rolling around.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
like,
didn't understand that.
Josh was basically joshing
I thought
around.
he just got delirious. I mean, I feel like at first he was like being an asshole, but I feel like it transitioned into he started getting a little delirious. Because that was the same.
That could have been it.
Maybe
That was the same day. Because that night he started talking about his mom's mashed potatoes. And he was like, man, I want some mashed
and a
potatoes.
hamburger in his pocket.
Yeah, like that's like you're starting to lose it at that point. That's what I saw.
That's very possible. And also, so
I do like mashed potatoes.
but that part kind of pissed me off too. 'Cause it's like,
crazy.
bro, like if I'm hungry, I don't want to talk about food. Like if
That's
I'm,
the last thing I
like
want to
the
talk
last thing I want to talk about is
for
mashed
sure.
potatoes and hot dogs and whatever. Like
I just want one meatball.
yeah, one meatball.
Well, one
Just-
meatball.
Just the one.
Just want one meatball.
Just the one.
Like
That's hilarious.
I didn't really care for that conversation because I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk about this. It's gonna make it worse. Because you're right,
Yeah.
all they did have was water. I didn't see them eat not even a nut, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, nothing.
Not a single cashew.
Mikey started chewing on that leaf.
Oh yeah,
That
he
dry leaf.
was chewing on a dry leaf. I
man.
forgot about that.
He was. She said, "Is that a dry leaf?"
So maybe Josh was losing it a little bit. So I think it was after that night, was next morning they woke up and Josh found all that slime all over his stuff. And once I saw that, I was like, oh, he's a goner. Like they've marked him. They said all this stuff had been thrown about. There was slime all over everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, why is it just over my stuff? And like it couldn't.
Why is it just over
So
your
at
stuff?
to me, at that point, that's when I knew it was paranormal because it was like, how would a human person know which stuff was his?
Yeah.
They wouldn't. So it has to be paranormal to me at that point. I'm like, oh, they just marked him and like he's about to be torn apart
Gee.
or missing or something.
And apparently, this is all the works of one long lost witch.
Well, she's powerful.
Blair.
Blair. Her name wasn't Blair.
So the following night, I guess, I think this is like night 5. I don't know. I had lost track. But at some point, they wake up and like Josh is just missing.
And all his stuff is still there.
Or I don't remember if he got lost.
That's day 7.
Did he get lost in the daytime or at night? Or
No,
what?
they woke
woke
up
up,
and he was
yeah.
gone.
And they're hearing like screams. in the woods that sound like Josh, like pretty intense screaming of like, yo, like I'm screaming for my life. And they're like, wait, is that you, Josh? Scream again. And he's like, oh, if he was lost, he would keep screaming more or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like for me, I didn't feel like they did enough to actually find Josh.
I agree.
Yeah,
Where I was just like, wait a second, like it's the three of you lost in the woods, which already terrifying,
right?
Like, but beyond the paranormal piece, it's just like we're stuck in the woods and we don't know how to get home. So that's already like a super terrifying situation to be in. But then you lose one of the members of your group. You hear screams in the middle of the night that sounds like his voice. And you're just like, before we come look for you, scream again. Like that was the resolution that they had. And they're like, yo, it sounds like he stopped screaming. Like,
I guess.
So then what? You gonna go back to sleep?
Well, that's what they did because.
So I'm like, yo,
exactly what they did.
Somebody's probably trying to kill him, or like he's in extreme danger. Like, why are y'all not like running everywhere to try to find him?
Yeah.
Well, I think
that was insane.
What Mikey's thought was that it was something
trying to lure them in.
Something imitating Josh's voice. Because they were like, if it was actually Josh and we say, where are you? He would answer them. Which again, I mean, I don't know if I really believe that because
but that's still trash.
They could have just slit his throat or covered his mouth or whatever, and he couldn't respond again. So I definitely would come looking. Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I'm going to sleep.
It's insane because even if it's like, oh, let's say
it is a trap.
Let's play this out. Oh, this is someone pretending to be Josh to lure us out. But we're sleeping in a tent in the middle of the woods. They could just come and kill us anyway. So it's like, why would they need to lure us out?
That's true. They already got Josh.
It's not like we're in some sort of like protective covering. We're in a tent.
Compound.
They're not scared of us. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not scared of us.
Yeah.
We're scared. So like that didn't really make sense. Yeah. And I'm also thinking about it if I'm in the perspective of Josh.
Yeah, I'd be
like, can
so
you imagine
tight.
if you're like in the woods screaming for help, somebody hears you and makes a decision, like, oh, he stopped screaming, so I'm not coming.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's over. I mean,
that's a life and death decision.
Yeah.
And you decided to go back in your tent.
Yeah,
like that to me was like absolutely insane. Like, yeah, these people are trash because I feel like they're not doing enough to try to like potentially save their friend's life. Needless to say, they don't find Josh again, so he's presumed dead. But like they already say at the beginning of the movie, all three of these kids disappeared. So we know it's not going to end well for any of them. But yeah, that part was just like, I feel like they could have done a little bit more.
No, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. And like, so at this point, they're like at day 8 basically, and they wake up. Oh, this is where they find this.
The voodoo branches around the tent. On the outside,
and like one of them has like a piece of cloth tied around it.
Some blood.
Yeah, it was like a human tooth.
Looked like a tongue. Looked like a tooth, and then like a tongue or something.
I thought it was a tongue too. It didn't really if it was just a bundle of sticks.
Yeah.
And at first it's like, yo, who left this here? This is mad weird.
And Heather goes to investigate.
She tossed it first.
Yeah.
And then she was like, wait, let me go see what it was. And then that's when she like unwraps the bundle and there's a bloody rag inside the sticks. And then she opens it and it's like something in there.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, it's camcorder footage in the middle of the night in the middle of the woods. So it's like you can't really see exactly what it is. But I thought it was like a tongue. Yeah. It looked like a tongue with like teeth inside.
And then she never tells.
Yeah, that was trash.
She never tells Mikey what she found. He's like, "Are you okay? What'd you find?" She's like, "Nothing. Let's go. I want my gloves on. Let's go."
Yeah, like, you don't think that's information he should have known? Like, you don't think he needed to know this?
Yes, clearly. But I don't know what was going on.
But
with
this goes back to what I was saying before about like the whole like, oh, I'm not lost. Everything's fine. It's like, you do that when you're dealing with like 4-year-olds and you're trying to protect them from freaking out. But it's like, when you're with another adult, I don't really see the value in like lying when you clearly don't have a plan. Like, just be like, yo, I'm lost, bro. Like, because that way we can figure it out together. But if you keep lying to me and saying like, yo, I'm not lost, everything's fine, then I'm going to be kind of like relying on you to figure it out. And you actually don't have an answer.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, so apparently there were teeth in there. Because it said that the teeth that were used were actual teeth.
They were actually Josh's.
They were
It's called method acting, guys. Look it up.
One of the co-writers and directors, his name is Eduardo Sanchez, his dentist provided the teeth. And the hair that was in the wrapped up in it was actually parts of Josh's hair. So you were close. It wasn't his teeth. They didn't yank his teeth out for the film.
But they did cut off his tongue.
The hair and tongue was Josh's, indeed.
The teeth from the dentist. Everything else, Josh's dead body.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So yeah, she sees that. She does not share information with Mikey. And, at this point, like, complete panic.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they still can't find their way back to the car, and now it's too dark to hike. So they have to camp again in the nighttime. And this is when she makes the very famous video that everybody has seen, the still of, like, the camera facing her, the light on her face, her nose is running, the camera's, like, up against her face.
She doesn't blink once.
And you noticed? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she didn't blink. I was looking. I was like, yo, that's what I thought this was real.
Oh.
I thought it was real. Yeah, because she says that line. I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them.
Oh yeah,
that was classic. Yeah.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them.
Holy cow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a line.
And she apologizes to Josh's mom and to Mikey's mom and to her mom. Because she's like, it was my insistence that we came out here.
Yeah.
I'm the one told them to go south, to keep going. And basically, like, we're lost. We can't find our way back. Like, basically, wrap us up.
Yep.
Mr. Rap, take to school tomorrow.
Nah, yeah, she knew it was over
Take
at
to
that
school
point.
tomorrow.
Because that's like when you start to, like, the reality starts to set in.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we're not going to get out of here.
Yeah. And then they start hearing someone yelling, like, somebody please
follow my voice.
Yeah. So they're running in the woods, and this is where, like, the camera work is very shaky because, of course, they're running in complete darkness, and they find this house in the woods. And when you see the house, it's like now you're thinking, like, oh, that's got to be the house from, like, the legend. That's got to be the house where that guy kidnapped those kids and all that, had them in the corner while he murdered them. And this part was actually really interesting because when they first run into the house, Mikey is running at full speed. Like, he's just going for it. And Heather's behind saying, like, Mikey, wait, slow down. When I'm watching this, it's like, part of me is like, yes, like, you hear what you think might be your friend, and so you're going to run into it. But it's also like, he was making mad noise. He's like, Josh. And I'm thinking, like, yo, if the killer is there, like, yes, you want to go in, but, like, be discreet about it. But then I'm thinking in my head, Mikey doesn't have all the information because Heather never told him about the teeth and the blood and the hair. All he knows is that Josh is missing. Yes, he heard some screams, but, like, he doesn't really know what's going on. And he also never really believed the legend. So it's kind of like, we'll just see. Maybe he got injured. Maybe something happened to him, and he sought shelter in this home, perhaps.
Yeah, that's real.
But he runs in like, where are you? He hears the voice upstairs. He runs upstairs, and then suddenly the voice is downstairs. So I'm like, this is a setup. Like, this is not Josh.
Yeah.
Like this is clearly something paranormal messing with you because there's no way his voice just went from the top to the bottom like that. Like, that's wild.
You saw all the hand marks.
Yeah.
As you going up the stairs on the side of the house. Mad hands. It was like 30, 40. It wasn't just like two pairs of hands.
What did you interpret that to mean? What did you think those hands?
That's what she took the kids or whoever her suspects was over time. And I feel like they all tried to escape some sort of way. And that was the proof. That was the house. That's what I took it as.
All the victims?
Yeah, that's what I took it as.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well. So how do you guys interpret the ending? What do you think happened?
Yeah, the ending is kind of like, wait, what? Because it's not like, again, everything's in the camcorder footage. So it's like, it's not even super clear exactly what you're looking at.
Right.
My understanding of what happened, and you guys can tell me if you had the same understanding or not, but my understanding of what happened was Mikey is the first one, like, running, trying to find Josh. And at some point, you, like, hear him, you stop hearing him yelling for Josh.
Yeah.
So now Heather's freaking out because she's like, why don't I hear Mikey's voice anymore?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And throughout the shot, you're seeing Mikey's camera, Heather's camera, Mikey's camera, Heather's camera. But then you stop seeing, you just see one camera. So you're like, oh, so what happened to Mikey? What happened to his footage?
Right.
So then I believe the last shot is she runs into a room and Mikey is basically just like, it seemed like he was in a trance. And
Yeah.
he's just like staring at the wall. Like he's just standing in the corner staring at the wall.
Yeah.
And then Heather's camera also drops.
Yep.
So to me, it was like there was some sort of spirit in the house that basically like caught them in a trance of some sort. And then, you know, we don't have any more footage to see what happened after that. But presumably they've never been found. The movie, the actual Blair Witch Project movie comes out in 1999. They say that this is footage from a 1994 documentary. So if this is presumed to be like an actual true footage, it would have been 5 years later. Somebody finds these camcorders in the woods. They're obviously not there. Their bodies obviously aren't there. So there's still a lot of question marks in terms of like what actually happened to them, what happened after they were put in a trance. Did they like end up just like walking into the river and drowning themselves? Like what actually happened to them? But you can assume, or at least I assume, that like they were like overtaken by the spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what I thought. I think the only thing that kind of threw me off a little bit was, according to the original legend, when it came down to that man who had kidnapped those kids, the child who had his back to the wall, he was facing the wall, had his back to the murders, was the one child who actually survived and got away. So when I saw Mikey facing the wall, initially I'm like, oh, does he get away? Because he's not seeing when the thing kills Heather. I thought Heather was gone. But in my mind, I was like, in the original story, the kid who faced the wall was the one that survived. But we know, of course, that no one survived. So I was like, why did they show that?
So my reading of it was like the man who was killing the kids had gotten like enraptured by the spirits.
Okay.
The kids were just kids who got kidnapped.
Right.
But I don't think they were in the trance. I think the kids were looking at the corner of the wall because that's what the man told them to do. Versus like Mikey like lost control of his own functionality.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with your take. That's exactly what I thought. Because it's like, when that happened, at first, I didn't know who that guy was. I didn't know if it was Mikey. I didn't know if it was
Or
somebody
Josh.
else. I didn't know if it was the killer. I didn't know who it was. But now that you're saying it, that makes sense. Like, it being Mikey and then him being in a trance, and then you see the camera dropping, and that's it.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, did you feel like it was like scary? Like, were you scared watching it, or was it kind of like, this is dumb? Because I feel like that was another big conversation at the time. Was like, some people were saying like, yo, nothing really happens, so like this is a stupid movie. And other people were like, you know, your brain kind of fills in the gaps and that's what makes it scary.
I definitely felt suspense. I didn't think it was dumb at all. Yeah. I definitely felt every emotion. That's why I thought it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a real thing. It was fire. And I feel like they did a phenomenal job of depicting it as something that's real. Especially the background that Andrene just gave us with that. That's incredible.
And I still have more.
Word.
Yeah.
Bet.
like when you like start reading up about the movie and how they made it, it makes in my opinion the rewatch value goes up.
All right, so let's hear some of these facts.
All right, so the audition process was very unusual for this film. In order to test the improv skills of the different actors, as soon as each potential actor entered the room to audition, they were immediately told by one of the directors, okay, you've been in jail for the last 9 years. We're on the parole board. Why should we let you go? That was the audition.
Yo.
And they had to see. So it's not about how well you can act.
Yeah.
It's like, how well can you improvise in this situation?
And make it believable.
Exactly. So the way they filmed it was the actors used GPS trackers to find their instructions for the day. So
It's like a season of Real World Challenge.
Naked and Afraid
Real
/
Yeah.
yeah.
You want a scavenger hunt? I thought we were shooting a documentary. What's going on here?
So the producers would program weight points in the GPS for each actor, and then the actors would go there. They would locate these milk crates. And in the milk crates, they would have these little plastic containers in them. Each canister contained notes about where the story was going for each actor. But the other two would not see that actor's notes. So it's like, all I know is my story, my storyline. It's almost like doing one of those like murder mystery dinners where it's like you have a role to play and you know your lines, but not anybody else's.
Yeah.
It's like that.
That's hard.
So it's like Heather and Josh wouldn't know that Mikey would kick the map into the water until he said it. And they're like, wait, what? Like, they wouldn't know.
Crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Because they wanted it to feel like this is how you would react if you
Yeah.
just found out somebody did this to you. So like in the beginning, it said it was very confusing to film because you're living in this world where you're improvising all the time.
Yeah.
They had to know like when you were acting and when you were trying to be your actual person, because they even used like their real names are the names of the people in the movie.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about that earlier when you said Heather's mom. I was like, the actor Heather?
Oh
or-
yeah, sorry,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
those are their names.
Okay.
So
okay.
it's like, if I call you Heather, like if I'm on set and I'm using a screen name and then you use my name Andrene, I know you're talking to me as the person.
Yeah, yeah.
But on this set, it's
You're playing
it's one and the
Andrene
same.
yeah.
So what they had to do was basically have like a safe word, and the word was taco. So if you say taco, that means like,
Out of character?
This is not about the show. Like, I'm talking as my authentic self.
That's crazy.
so that they would know, you know, what was going on. Like, when you think about it, I'm like, this is actually brilliant.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the way that they really... And then the last thing I want to say that was just kind of interesting was that they said that some movie goers actually got physically ill when watching this shaky camera work, because before this film, you're not used to watching that. It's like you're watching and they're running in the field and it's bouncing up and down. And they said that the regional director of Lowe's Cineplex Entertainment estimated that on average, one person per screening got sick and asked for a refund.
One person per screening.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
He had too many raisinets, bro. Yeah, nothing to do with the screen work.
They ate too much food.
Yeah. He was loading up on Junior Mints. That's what made you sick.
Coke slushies, bro.
too many of those slushies. First of all, those movie theater slushies are way too big.
The icy joints?
It's so much sugar, bro.
They are humongous.
It's way too big. It's like one of those 7-Eleven big gulps.
Nah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's so much sugar.
Yeah, if you get a large soda at a movie theater, you're an animal, bro.
Those joints be bigger than your head.
The large soda is basically like a 2 liter. You're just sipping on it with a straw. Like, come on, bro. Like, just get a small. Don't be a disgusting person.
For sure.
All right, were there any quotes that you wanted to discuss or any parts that made you laugh?
I mean, you talked about the redneck part. I don't know if there's anything really too funny in this movie. I think the one thing that I kind of alluded to earlier is when, I don't remember if it was Mikey or Josh, like takes the camera from Heather, because Heather's taping like the entire movie.
Oh my God.
Movie. And one of them kind of takes her camera to record. And they make a comment about how having the camera is kind of like a protective measure because it takes away like the reality of the situation. And he says, you know, when you're looking at everything through the camera lens, it's like you can pretend that everything's not quite the way that it is.
Yeah.
So even though we're in this awful situation and we're all scared and we're all terrified, it's like I'm filming it, so it's like I can kind of remove myself from reality at a certain level.
Yeah, that was hard.
And I just thought that was kind of ironic because for the audience watching the film, it was almost like the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Being able to see this through the lens of a camcorder
Yeah.
versus a professional movie camera, it actually made it feel more real, and it actually like removed that layer of you know, when you're watching a movie and you kind of have that disbelief.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this actually feels a little bit more authentic.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, that's a good part. For me, what kind of made me chuckle was after they realize that they're lost, they don't know where they're going, the map is gone, they're walking south for 15 hours or whatever. Mikey and Josh, maybe they were going a little loopy, like you said, Dave. They just start singing the national anthem.
Nah, that was the same for me. Yeah. That was literally the same.
Thomas
thing
J.
for me. That joint was hilarious.
And I thought about my girl.
Yeah,
I pledge allegiance.
Thomas J, man. This is America. We can't be lost. It's like, what? This makes no sense at all. I feel like they were doing this to mock her. That's what made it funny.
Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
like they were definitely like, oh, she kept saying this is America, so they're like, oh, this is America. Then they're like, all right, let's sing the anthem.
Yeah. I also liked when they were sleeping in the tent one of the nights, getting ready to go to bed, and Mike took off his shirt, and they were talking about how he had like splotches of like hair on his chest, and it's like, oh, it's blank here, and then it's hairy, and then it's blank here, and then it's hairy, and like Heather's making fun of him with a camera, and she's recording it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he's like, you should see my ass. I was like, all right, Mike, calm down, Mikey boy, little Mikey.
Mikey boy.
All right.
So, Dave, what do you think was the theme of this movie? Or like, yeah, what
What'd you get out of
would
this?
What would be the lesson?
The moral of the story.
The movie's trying to get across.
Don't go in the woods. I think the theme.
Don't hike.
Don't go in the woods.
I think the theme is so for me, I'm real big on like the mind and what you believe and what you seek is what you're gonna find. And I took a lot of that from this because I feel like at first, obviously, she was very adamant about this. Mikey and Josh were like, whatever, I'm just going along with the ride. But the deeper they get into it, the more they start seeing things. And I feel like as they continued, they ended up experiencing the same exact thing that they were talking about the other people were crazy about. So I don't know if that's really a theme, but that was my takeaway from it. Like just the power of going after something and understanding the consequences that can come after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of had a similar theme because I wrote down don't go looking for trouble.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's kind of, it's similar to what you were saying, where it's like, it's like when you go looking for smoke,
You're going to find it.
then it's like, then when you find it, you can't be like, oh man, this is more than I bargained for. It's like, but you like actively sought it out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a situation where, you know, we always like joke about, you know, when black folks see people running, then we just start running even if we don't know what it is. But it's like, it's funny, but it's also like, because it's a protective measure. And it's like, when you are like, hey, what's going on over there? Hey, this looks a little suspicious. Let me go research it. And then it's like, bro, like if you end up getting kidnapped or if you end up in a trance, in a abandoned house in the woods, then it's almost kind of, I'm not saying it's their fault necessarily, but it's also like you went looking for smoke and you found fire. So, and you end up getting burnt.
Yeah.
When you said that, I started thinking about those people who like snoop in their partner's phones and emails. It's like, bro, if you look for something, you're going to find it.
You will find.
You'll find something.
You will find something.
It might be out of context. You might be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But you're going to find something if you go looking for it.
If you look hard enough, you're going to find something.
Yeah,
that's mine.
So I have one gripe about this movie. My biggest gripe, and I mean, it's not anything new. People have mentioned it. The reason why people say like it's not as scary is the fact that like we never actually see the witch. Like there's a part where towards the end, Heather's running and she's like, "No, what is that? What the heck is that?"
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the cameraman to like even just a quick like pan to the left, pan to the right, and then come back. Like just a slight peripheral corner of the eye thing. And like there was nothing. That was my one letdown. I was like, just let me see the witch. Like let me see
something
supernatural.
Yeah. That was the one thing that I felt was missing from this film.
So it wasn't enough that they cut out Josh's tongue for this movie. Still wanted to see the witch. Still needed to see something else. That wasn't enough.
Josh's tongue. You're an idiot. Yeah, I needed to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess the last thing to do is figure out our rewind ratings. Again, scale from 1 to 10 rewinds.
1 to 5, boy.
What, I said 10?
Yeah, that's way too
1 to
high.
5.
That lagger over there.
Yeah. 1 to 5. 1 to 5 rewinds on how likely you would be to rewatch this movie again. Any volunteers?
I'll go.
You want to pop it off?
Go ahead. Nah, go ahead.
I'll go first. So you know I love my horror movies.
You do.
No.
You horror movies?
This is one that I feel like I kind of go back and forth on, honestly. So the first time I watched it like I knew at the time that I watched it wasn't real. I also knew that it had been advertised as being real. But I also didn't do a deep dive into the facts. So like I didn't know a lot about how they filmed it and the script and the actors not knowing what was real. I didn't know all of that. So the first time I watched it, I was like, this is mad boring. Like, nothing, again, the whole nothing happens. But then watching it again now, and like after doing the research and seeing all that went into it, and watching it from that perspective, it kind of increased the rewatch value for me because I could see myself watching it again, like, because here's the thing. So before I watched it the second time, I didn't look the facts up. I watched it first, and then I looked at the facts, and I was like, oh, I kind of wish I'd done the facts first because now I kind of want to see it again to see, you know, how
Everything
knowing
played
that
out.
the reactions and that they were actually real makes it like, oh, I kind of want to watch it again.
Sure.
So, but I mean, again, once you've seen this movie, like, you know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
It is not a lot of
And that's the
surprise
whole
here.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like you're going to catch a lot of Easter eggs per se.
Yeah.
It's a good enough film. I don't think it's trash. I think I'm going to go middle of the road and be safe and give it a 3.
Cool.
I'm safe.
Let me see if boss.
Yeah, I don't really know where to go. Do you have a rating?
Joel's trying to
Give me
pivot.
more time. Give me more time.
I could go. I could go.
Yeah, you go.
So I'm gonna go with 4. Originally it was a 3.5, but after hearing the background and how they put everything together, and I just love the art of cinema and acting and all those different types of things. So for knowing all the background, I'm gonna go with a 4.
Okay. Nice, strong store.
Trois, as they say in French. Right?
Quatre.
Quatre.
Un, deux,
Sorry.
trois, quatre.
Un, deux, trois, quatre. Okay.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
All right.
Thank you.
We get it.
Duolingo lesson. I feel like as we've been sitting here for like the past 3 minutes, I've thought of like 7 different ratings in my head. So
1 to 10 or 1 to 5?
I'm literally all over the place. No, all 1 to 5. Believe it or not. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time I've watched this movie. I knew like the concept of like this is a scripted movie that's made to look real, but it still somehow wasn't really what I was expecting. Like it still felt a little bit more authentic. And I think to Andrene's point, like I was a little surprised not to see any supernatural or paranormal activity on camera. Because I was kind of just expecting that to be a part of the movie, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
When I think about the replay value, though, I think on the one hand, I do like that it was relatively short. But on the other hand, I do feel like it's like there isn't a ton that happens. And once you've kind of seen the movie and you get an understanding of like what they're trying to do, I don't know that it has like a ton of replay value beyond that. So like for me to then watch this movie again, it would just kind of be like, I don't know how interested I would be in seeing it a second time, because it's kind of like, all right, I kind of already get the point, and I'm not really gonna like gather anything different from this movie. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 2.5.
Okay. I'm all over the board. Three very different scores.
Nice. And again, this is a replay value rating.
Yes.
Not to say that this is like a bad movie, because I actually thought it was pretty enjoyable. But yeah, I just don't feel like it has very high replay value for me.
That's fair.
That's real. Yeah.
Okay, so we got 2.5, a 3, and a 4.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know which one of us you agree with and where you would rate the Blair Witch Project on a scale from 1 to 5 rewinds. And Andrene, let the people know where they can find us.
Okay, Joel. You can send us an email
Shake your head like that.
at rewindrewatch1990s@gmail.com.
Oh God, I don't know why I started it.
Right.
Like, it's kind of my fault. And I didn't realize she was gonna do that.
You didn't realize?
I didn't realize she was gonna do that, and now I regret everything about it.
On our socials, you have RR90spod. That's going to be on Instagram. That's going to be on Threads. And then on TikTok and on Facebook, we are Rewind Rewatch Podcast.
Just look at your phone. Whatever it says on there, that's the title.
Rewind Rewatch Podcast.
The Rewatch Podcast.
Reverse rewind. Right? What?
Rewind, rewatch.
Don't forget to rewind.
Goodness gracious.
And then
Rewind
rewatch.
and rewatch.
Oh, man. All right,
This
y'all.
is the second time you've joined the pod now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Honorary member.
He is actually our sibling.
I meant at the podcast. It's
I thought I was part of the
It's not like
festival.
we're pretending. We're not like Blair Witching our relationship.
We're actually in the house together. Just have breakfast.
All right, guys. Send us your requests. Keep those comments coming. And we'll catch you later.
Adios.
Peace.